We are back with another episode of Let's Talk P3. And today we're talking about blight. Some may think of blight as a dirty word, and hey, we get it. But we're here to talk about what blight really means to us at P3. To us, blight is a positive word that represents opportunity to improve our surroundings. We use blight to identify the best places for us to distribute resources in Parker, to show where new investment could create the best economic benefit, and to improve or enhance areas with the biggest impact for our residents and community members. When P3 started,
following a condition survey, blight was identified in these locations.
So, why should residents care at all about blight? Well, blight in a community represents an area and land that is not being utilized to its full potential. Blight can lower property values in an area, it can discourage new investment, and have a multiplier effect outside of the area that it's in. That's why we're working at P3 to reduce blight in Parker and funding projects to revitalize our community. As you may remember from a previous episode of Let's Talk P3, blight is also a legal term used by the state of Colorado. Before P3 and our urban renewal areas even formed, we had to show that there was blight in the community. In order to identify blight in an area, it must meet certain qualifications. Where I'm standing right now meets 4 of the 11 requirements as identified by the state of Colorado in order to be deemed as blighted. This property right here has inadequate street layout, it shows signs of deterioration, and there are barriers to someone wanting to buy this property. Finally, this site has a faulty lot layout, which means that there are limitations based on size, accessibility, and more. Other requirements for blight include
slum or deteriorating structures, unsanitary or unsafe conditions, unusual topography or inadequate public improvements or utilities, conditions that endanger life or property by fire or other causes, buildings that are unsafe or unhealthy for a person to live or work, environmental contamination, and underutilization or vacancy of sites, buildings, or other improvements. To be considered blighted, a property must meet at least 4 of these 11 characteristics.
So, once an area is determined blighted, what can we actually do about it? That is where P3 comes in. We use funds collected from tax increment financing to help revitalize blighted areas. With tax increment financing, residents are not charged extra for projects done to improve blighted areas. Instead, we use money already collected from increased property values in our urban renewal areas. P3 uses this money and works with local businesses and developers through application processes to fund projects that will have the biggest impact. The outcome? Well, do you remember this property? In episode 3 of Let's Talk P3, we filmed at that very location to show you an example of blight. It faced challenges with environmental contamination, deteriorating structure, underutilization of the site and the building, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And now, as you can see, and probably hear, revitalization and construction are happening right behind me. Essentially, thanks to blight, this area has been given a whole new life and now has seen new investment. All right, Parker, that's it for this episode of Let's Talk P3. Remember, blight isn't always a scary thing. In fact, the next time you see a blighted lot, we encourage you to imagine what it could become. And if it's in our urban renewal area, it's possible we're already working on ways to make that happen. Until next time, let us know, what improvements have you seen in formerly blighted areas around town? We would love to hear your thoughts and continue to work together to improve Parker.